Well, found the screwdriver. It was also out here in the garage. Let's pop the cover off. There we have one carburetor. Now, one thing I was going to check is whether it had a governor or not. It actually does. It's this guy back here, which kind of tries to keep the RPMs constant under load. Flip the engine around. I did a little bit of math yesterday night because that's what I do when I can't sleep. Apparently it spins at about 3,000 RPM at the shaft here. This pulley in the back here, which is about 2 3/4 inches. This pulley's a 6-inch pulley. Then inside, with the chains that I showed you last time, there's a 8-tooth and a 32-tooth that goes to the axle, and I'm going to try and connect those two together. And with the size of the tires, which are about 14 inches in diameter, it works out to be about 30 kilometers an hour, which might be a little bit fast. I'll put something in the way so you can't push the gas pedal all the way down if I find that it's too fast for the kids. I'm going to drain the gas tank now, get that out. It's been sitting there all season. I did put stabilizer in it, but we're going to have to turn this thing upside down anyways. And I have a handy dandy little siphon pump. I've never used it before, and I'm very curious as to how and if it's going to work. It's got a little on-off
Is that what that was?
thing in. That's what this is. That's the gasoline out. Let's flip it around and see if we can get the oil out. There's a couple choices for getting the oil out. I think if I pull this guy off, I'll be able to drain all the oil out that tube. The other option is to flip it forward and just remove the dipstick and let it pour out through there. I think I may actually be able to make slightly less of a mess with the tip over method. I'm going to go get an oil pan and we're going to drain that out. There's the dipstick. Oil is a little, not the worst I've ever seen, and it's halfway between the okay and the empty line, so we'll call that a win. Let's see what happens when we flip it over. Wish me luck. Out it comes. Well, that's gonna sit there and do its thing for a while. It's moving slowly because it's cold outside. I didn't really want to start the engine up in the shop, die from CO poisoning or something like that. So I think it's time to take a break, and we'll come back in a bit when this thing's drained. Fuel and oil are out. Not that you can tell, but I cleaned this up a little bit. I'm going to start taking apart the bottom transmission part. I want to keep this pulley, that pulley, and maybe this one. Let's get the belt off here.
A few moments later.
Well, I pulled a bunch of other stuff out of the way, and we're back for the moment of truth. Finally got all the pins out, and a couple other pieces that were holding everything in. This guy drops right out the bottom. So this is going to be one of the pulleys that we're going to use and attach to the top. I'm also going to reuse this guy and this guy on the axle. It looks like it's welded in place there. So I'll have to pull this chain around and see if I can find a master link to disconnect it. This piece, I don't think I have a use for that. I might, if I need an extra length of chain, I might pull that off.
I just need the tools that are tiny and for me.
Alright, we got this part out. I'm going to steal, or I intend to steal this gear and the one that's still attached to the axle. We'll see how easy that's going to be. Alright, so here's the piece that I want to steal. Let's clean it off a little bit. This is a carb cleaner. Probably gives you cancer, but it works really well. And what I need to do is I need to get this guy to connect to that guy. So I'll see, try to pull that off, and maybe some of these diameters are similar, or I can find someone who can turn this down to match that diameter. That's going to be the interesting part, I think. That's probably going to be the most complicated part. Option B is this guy that I didn't think I was going to use. Looks like this guy's got a clip on it, and it's got 7 teeth, the other one has 8 teeth. But I think maybe this might be a decent candidate as well. Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna take my own break.
Okay.
And my break's gonna be inside the house.
Okay. See you later. Thanks for visiting. Excellent. That is definitely a candidate. Now where did that little clip go? Found it. It's just this little guy that sits in here but prevents this whole guy from sliding off. Kind of important. Alright, let's get this pulley off and see if it's actually going to be useful to us. Oh, that's the wrong wrench. Nope. Too big. Seriously? Stand by. We're back. That's what I get trying to use a proper tool for the job. Lesson learned. Alright, let's see what we got here. So it's got a nice bearing in the middle of it. Even turns smoothly. The question is that gonna fit on anything? Wonder if I could just weld these two together. That might not be so bad. Lots to think about. So here's the next interesting piece. I was thinking that maybe I could weld to this, but I'm pretty sure not magnetic. That means it's probably aluminum, and I don't think I'm welding steel to aluminum. Looking closely right in here, it would appear that this piece, this ring and that ring are moving together, which kind of makes me think that this ring is just pressed in here, and if I take that, let's call it a sleeve, if I take that, press that sleeve out, it looks like this diameter and that diameter might actually work, so that I could slide that piece through and maybe bolt this face on and have those two locked together like that. It's another possibility. The last thing that I need to do, swing around over here, is get this guy, this axle out. To do that, I gotta pull the bearing out, which is totally fine until I get right to where the holes are. It looks like there's a bit of, I don't know if it's rust or just from when they drill the hole. Can't get it off, so I'm gonna have to clean off that shaft so that I can slide all that out. I've got two options. One, I've got this 120 grit plumber's sandpaper that you usually use for scuffing up pipes, and I found an old file somewhere. Not sure if it's good for metal or not, but what do you think? Sandpaper first? Nope. Cleans everything up really nicely, but it's not going to take that ridge down. Hard to even tell where it is exactly. shining up the metal here. I love it. Let's pull that out. I've got to do the other one too. We're out. Well, I think the last step is to take the engine off. I'll measure the distance between all of those guys. I'll lay it out and drill some new holes so I can mount the engine 90 degrees from the way it is. I guess I'll also have to do some careful measuring about how far out the pulley is and how that's going to interact with where this guy sits. I'm thinking it'll sit out like that and the wheels will be in the middle. To be determined. Let's loosen these guys off. Oh, that doesn't want to come off. Oh. I'd use a bigger socket wrench, but I don't think I could fit it in here. Well, they are now two separate pieces. Before, the engine was sitting on top of here like that. Our new configuration is going to be sitting on top like that, with the gears coming down and the wheels over here. So that'll be the back of the SnowRacer. That'll be the front. Now we just got to figure out how to put it back together. Shouldn't be too bad. So I think we've got a workable setup here. We've got the engine, it's just sitting on top of the sheet metal frame right now. This was the spot where the axle was before. If I put it back through there. Gear used to be on the inside. Now it's going to sit on the outside. Let's get the belt back on. That's going to go on the innermost pulley. Get the idler out of the way. This is that friction disc. I'm thinking that's going to sit on somewhere around here. I'll have to drill a hole through the metal piece over there. And then, however we figure out how to attach this guy to here, well, that's going to go attached to there and drive our wheels. I'll take this shaft and I'll probably cut it off here. I'll drill some extra holes, put some clips in to prevent it from moving side to side. It's kind of crazy, but this might actually work. Well, the DIY gods are definitely smiling on me today. This was the piece that was sitting in there. I managed to knock it out. Take a look at this. Look at that fit. That's beautiful. That's the piece that the that little guy sits on. Still not sure how we're gonna attach it at the back. I wonder if I could drill it out and tap it and bolt it on. Whether that would work or not, but I don't know. I'm happy. Well, I think that's about it for today. I'm gonna find somewhere to soak this chain in, get this a little cleaned up. Yeah, thanks for watching. I think we made some good progress, and we're gonna start building tomorrow, I guess. So stay tuned. See you later.